My mom wanted me to be a truck driver because that would mean I would make $24,000 a year if I went to Truck Masters, and that would be twice what my father made. And she thought that would happen, but something inside of me said, I don't want to drive a truck. There's something else that matters more to me, and I decided I was not going to go for money instead of passion. And the rewards have been pretty amazingly better than being a truck driver. It's not bad being a truck driver, it's just not what I was after. And I look back, and one of the things that helped me was my original teacher, Jim Rohn, who was a personal development speaker. I went to hear when I was 17. He said something the first time I heard him, and he said, you know, it's really simple. If you want life to change, you got to change.
In this video, I'm going to talk about Tony Robbins and the law of attraction motivation. And if you watch this video all the way to the end, I'm going to share something very simple but very powerful with you that genuinely changed my life. Hey Spiritual Outlaws, this is Marcus Birks with Manifest Mondays. If you like this style of video, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, go and smash that like button, because that way you can really help me grow this channel, and I really need you to do that to get this message to as many people as possible, to get more and more positivity out into the world. So really would appreciate that if you could subscribe to the channel. And I want to give away a free gift to you, no catch whatsoever. So if you go into the description below, then there will be a link for a free gift for my Affirmation for Success audio. Let's get right into the video. I can personally really relate to Tony Robbins' early life story because my own mum struggled with alcohol. I was the oldest of 6 children that all had different dads, and we really struggled for money, so there wasn't much food in the house, and we probably saw more violence than most children should ever see. So I really respect Tony Robbins and his early life story, and I'm sure he's an inspiration to you. So let's get right into the first point. Point number 3, take advantage of the season.
Whether you suffer or whether you succeed is not going to be based on the season. Some people freeze to death in the middle of the winter. Other people ski and snowboard. It really comes down to what are you going to do? So as I was coming here, I was thinking, what can I do to show you how to take advantage of the season? What can I do to show you how you can absolutely, doesn't matter what the season is a bad season financially a good or bad time to start a business? Tell me, which one? When the economy is toughest, is it a good or bad time to start a business? You tell me. Which one? Well, of course, that's what he expects me to say is good. But it's the truth. If you look at the Fortune 1000 companies around the world, 65% of them were started in a depression or a recession.
No matter how bad things are, there's always something that you can take advantage of. Now, in my own journey, I took advantage of the fact when I was younger that I didn't really have anything. I had absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I took full advantage of that. It gave me absolute inspiration to keep moving forward. Now I'm older and I have stuff in my life and I have more things of value and things that I love in my life, then I still kind of keep that mentality because I know what it's like to be broke and I don't ever want to be broke again. So that's one driving force, but I still kind of go with the mentality of, you know what I've got, but I've got everything still to gain and nothing really to lose, because you know when you've been there, you know that you've been there, so you're not scared of the journey. And I really think that's a really important point, to like not be scared of the journey and just go for it no matter what the season, because no matter how tough things are, no matter how bad things are at the time, there will always be a silver lining somewhere if you just dig deep and look deep enough. Point number 2, have guts and take risks.
So Bill Gates is a gutsy bastard. Bill Gates has the guy took big risks. He was at Harvard, had a great education set up, wasn't doing so good. But he read a magazine article about the first personal computer called the Altair. And as he read it, he said, you know what? I think this is the future. He anticipated the changes that would come in the future. But he had guts and he took a risk. That's why he's who he is. He called the guy up and he said, listen, I see you got this new computer. You guys need software for that. He said, I've written software for it that'll make it run perfectly. Was that true? Yes or no? It's total bullshit. He made it up. He was just being gutsy and saying, if I tell the guy I've got software and he says, come see me, I'm going to figure out how to do it. Pretty ballsy. Sure enough, the guy said, bring it to me in 3 weeks. So he had 3 weeks to come up with software between he and his partner. And he worked around the clock. And literally, when he went to Altair in New Mexico to show this software, he didn't have a computer to test it on. He didn't know if it was going to work for sure. Thank God for his future, it worked. It was a gutsy, risky thing. He invested all his time and energy. He blew off his school. He did everything, and thank God for him, it worked.
Just know that no matter how hard you plan and no matter how strategically you plan, life will never go in a straight line anyway. No matter how well you've prepared, you will always hit obstacles along the way in life. That is just a fact. That is the way that life works. So for that reason, it's okay to have some guts and take chances and take risks that you wouldn't normally take. It's okay, because that's how you can move on in life. Because if we play too safe, and you know that you're going to hit obstacles anyway, then you might as well have the guts to take a chance and take some risks and hit obstacles in that way, rather than playing it safe and still hitting them. I'm absolutely guilty of this myself, that I am a perfectionist, so sometimes I really think that everything's got to be perfect before I get started, but sometimes you've just got to start to perfect what it is that you want to do. Exactly what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. I really feel slightly out of my depth, if I'm being totally honest right now. You know, just talking to a camera and trying to relay that to you on the other side of the world possibly, but you know, I've just kind of got to be vulnerable and put myself out there, and I know that I'm probably going to look back on these videos and hate them, but it doesn't matter, because if I don't start and I don't take risks and I don't just go for it and have the guts to do it, then I would never do it. I actually put this off for over a year before I started, so here I am, taking the chance and having the guts to do it, and I'm going to make sure that we grow this channel, and I want to inspire you, and I want you to inspire as many people as possible to do what it is that you want to do. It doesn't have to be perfect, just get started and perfect it along the way. Point number 1, just ask.
And I'm walking along and I see this guy in the distance, and he's kind of stumbling back and forth between the gutter and the sidewalk. He's got a long trench coat on, his head's down like this, he's holding a brown bag, and I can start to smell him even before I get there, and I'm thinking, you know, this guy is obviously drunk. And as I started to get closer, I thought, I bet he's going to beg me for some money. And sure enough, whatever you focus on life tends to happen, doesn't it? So sure enough, he gets real close to me, and I thought all of a sudden he wasn't going to do it, and all of a sudden he popped his head up. It was really weird. He went, "Mister!" He had this really bizarre looking sounding voice. He went, "Mister, could you loan me a quarter?" And I thought, do I want to reward this behavior? And then I thought, I don't want him to suffer. Do you have this dilemma sometimes? Like, you know, I'm not here to judge. So years ago, I finally decided I always just give, even if the person's pulling a scam, that's for them to deal with. If I have the ability, then I give. And so I thought, but could I teach him something? So I asked him a question back. I said, is that all you want is a quarter? So he goes, yeah, just 1 quarter. 1 quarter changed my whole life. 1 quarter. I said, really? He said, yeah, 1 quarter. So I reached in my pocket, and I pulled out my money clip. And in those days, I was, you know, very young, just starting to succeed. And my original mentor was a man named Jim Rohn. I don't know, how many have heard of Jim Rohn? Anyone? Yeah, he's a great guy. And Jim told me, he said, Tony, look, you've come from a poor background. You got a poor psychology. You got to change it. He said, you don't have any money, so pretend you do. He said, start training your brain, condition it. He said, go save all your money, get $300 bills, and put them on the outside of your money clip, even though you only have $5 in between them. So every time you put it out, you'll see that, you'll feel inspired, you'll feel better. He said, and you'll feel better, you'll do better. So I was like, okay. So I did. So I pulled my money clip, and sure enough, I got $300 bills down. I made sure he saw the bills. So I'm tearing through that, right? Looking in between there, see if I can find some change. But I made sure he saw it. Sure enough, he's looking at the $100 bills, checking it out. I find the quarter, I pull it out, take the money, put it in my pocket. I notice he's watching my hand going into the pocket. I took the quarter and I looked at him and I said, sir, life will pay any price you ask of it. And I gave him the quarter.
Sometimes in life you get what you ask for. Now it won't always work, but the truth is, a lot of the time you do get what you ask for. Now if you follow my journey on social, you'll know that music is a big part of my life outside of doing this channel. Now, when I first started in music, I really didn't know what to charge people, and I really didn't value myself either. So when people would say to me, what do you charge for a show? I would really not know what to say, and I'd be like, oh, you know, if I give them that price, it'd be too much. And I used to always give them a really low price, and that way I wasn't putting value on myself. And was they really putting value on me when I was putting a low price on myself? You know, now I'm more advanced in the music business, and I've been doing this for a long time. I know the type of money that people are getting paid for the type of show that they're doing, and I know the value. Now, I'm being honest, I value us at more than we're even getting right now, and I value other artists that I work with at more than they're getting, but I will certainly these days just always put us at the higher price first and value us at that higher price, because in my heart, I warrant it. I know that we're going to give value with our show. I know that we're going to give them something that is worth paying for. Now, if they want to negotiate and bring that price down, then that's fine. We can negotiate. But if we don't ask, we don't get. And recently, my wife asked me, what are we going to charge for a show that we was quoting for? And we actually doubled the price of the show than what we would normally charge, because we wanted to practice what we're preaching right here. And that client, without any question, just said yes. So that made us realize even more to put this more into action, because if we'd have quoted them the original price, it would have been half of the money. Now we've upped ourselves to that price because we've seen a new level to kind of go, we're worth this much. If somebody's paying it, somebody else will pay it. We can always come down. That way, the record label makes more money, the agency makes more money, and in the end, we make more money. So put a value on yourself and just ask, because if you don't ask, you don't get. Now, just so you know, that doesn't just have to be a monetary thing. It doesn't have to just be about money. It could be about anything that you want to ask for in life. Just don't be afraid to ask, because asking is where it all starts. Start the conversation. Don't be afraid to ask. As I said, if you don't ask, you don't get, no matter what it is. If you're still watching, that means that you've made it through this video, and I genuinely appreciate that. So make sure you go and hit that subscribe button and that like button right now, because it really helps with the algorithm, and I'm really trying to grow this channel right now, so I really appreciate your support. You know, it only takes 2 seconds, so go and do it right now, just 2 seconds. And if you do go into the description, don't forget, I've got a link in there of how you can find my free gift to you, which is my free success affirmation audio. So go into the description and make sure you get that. There's no catch whatsoever. I just want to give you a free gift for your support in watching this video, so thank you for that. Thank you for being on Manifest Monday. I'm Marcus Birks from marcusbirks.com with no nonsense law of attraction. Until next time, reshape your life and create a world that you design. I hope you didn't forget, because I haven't forgot. If you remember, I said that I would share something with you that is very simple but very powerful at the end of this video. So that thing is actually this. I had this tattooed on my arm because it reminds me, whenever things are tough, whenever things aren't going quite the way that I want them to go, then I can just look down and read this, and it really means something to me. Because many years ago, when I was in a much darker place in my life, I took a little script out of the Bible, and I do just want to point out that I'm not religious. I do believe in the universe, and I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe in a higher power. But you know, whatever you believe in, like I say, whether that's God, whether that's energy, whether it's universe, it's totally your thing. But I found these words very powerful, because I do think there's some power in the words of the Bible, or whatever Bible it may be for anybody's religion. But it really struck to me, and it is, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened. Now, obviously continues that for everyone who asks receives, everyone who knocks the door will be open, everyone who seeks will find. And I really remind myself of that when things are tough, because, you know, things won't always go perfect. As we said, there will be obstacles that come into your way, and sometimes you just feel down in the dumps and you feel like giving up. But that is the point when you need to dig in deep, and you really need to believe in yourself, because as long as the sun sets, it will rise, and as long as you are breathing, you are living. So you have to make the most of your life each and every single day, and it's your life, it is your path, and you have absolute control and absolute power over your own thoughts and what it is that you want to achieve in your life. So never ever give up, because my thing is, we're never done. I don't think we're ever going to be done until the day that we leave this vessel and go to the beyond, because you will always have something that you're striving towards, because that's what makes life worth getting up for every day, that you've got something that you can chase, something to dream about, and something that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. Now that is the ultimate thing, to seek the health, wealth, love and happiness, and to feel fulfilled along the way. And I know that's not always easy, but for me, this is something that just pulls me back into the moment, and that's why it was powerful for me to have tattooed on me. Now, I'm not saying you've got to go out and have it tattooed on you, of course not, but maybe it's just something that you can add into your life, just something very simple to remind yourself to ask, seek and knock. Because as I said, if you don't ask, you don't get, and the truth is, you could have the whole world in your hands. So here's to health, wealth, love and happiness. Have an amazing day. Go and check out one of the other videos and make the law of attraction work for you.
Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For every one that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. It's as marvelous and as simple as that. In fact, it's so simple that in our seemingly complicated world, it's difficult for an adult to understand that all he needs is a purpose and faith.